Hello, everybody, to another edition of Snippet News. This time we're gonna do month of November and December, because I slipped past me. I was traveling and then I forgot to do it. Sorry about that. Let's start with happy holidays to everybody. I hope you enjoying the last month of the 2020, which has been a very tumultuous year. It has, at least for me, had a couple of ups and downs, more ups than downs. And I'm very happy with what I've done and what I've gotten out of the year, even though it is a very difficult year for everybody. Um, but one of the cool things that we managed to do this year was see a lot of movies on the comfort of our house, and some of the companies started doing direct to streaming options. So that being the case, I want to start with one of the biggest news that Warner released right now in December, uh, which is it's mostly for their investors. They decided that they were gonna move all their uh, release dates from 2021 to do simultaneous streaming here in the United States. They're still gonna open outside the United States in the theater, and I think there's gonna be a limited release here. But for the most part, almost all of their biggest tentpole movies are gonna be streamed directly on HBO Max. This includes little things, Godzilla vs. Kong, Conjuring, Devil Made Me Do It, In the Heights, which I was waiting for this year. It looked very good. Um, Those Who Wish Me Dead, Mortal Kombat, stuff like a Suicide Squad. It's big movies. Dune are coming same day as they come out in theater in streaming through HBO Max from Warner. Now, of course, apparently this wasn't handled very well, which Warner seems to be doing kind of that. They probably need to work with their marketing department and their launching departments for these kind of things, because they did the same thing with HBO. They launched HBO Max, and it was very crappy way they did it. Like, some people, it was confusing. The naming, how to get it, all the stuff. It's been weird. They need to actually work with somebody who knows how to plan these things, because they did the same thing for the movies, and it got released information. They didn't tell anybody, literally no one. The directors guild has already complained. Christopher Nolan came out and said that it was one of the worst decisions they could do. Like, people were thinking they were working with one of the greatest studios in the world, and now they figure out they're working with one of the worst streaming services, which is very much a punch to HBO Max. Producers like Legendary Pictures, who has helped fund the movie Dune, in about 75% of its budget, has said that it's gonna look at its legal options with Warner and HBO, because all of this affects the way people get paid in the movie, like the back end, the stuff that revenue earned throughout time, all of that. And they didn't tell anybody, nobody. It's like at least 12 to 15 movies are being released simultaneously on streaming, and they didn't tell anybody. Anybody. Of course, they didn't do it because they didn't want to go through the hassle of that negotiation beforehand. This seems to be mostly like an investor's decision to make people go into HBO, and hopefully they can maintain what they just said. But if there's legal action, or if they can't go in the negotiations with their partners, these may not end up happening. It's one of those things that is kind of weird. They are trying to get ahead. It is at the same time a smart choice, because we're still gonna be dealing with COVID during the next year, now that the vaccine is being rolled out. But since we don't know timetables and all of that, it was kind of a good decision to get ahead of it and just say this is what it's gonna do. The bad part is how they handled it. It came out of nowhere. They didn't tell anybody, and because of that, it may not end up happening anyway. So um, it's it's been very weird, very very weird. Um, Hopefully they can reach up an agreement like what we did with Wonder Woman. They already did had that before. It's coming out December 25th. If you're watching this after that, it's already out on HBO Max. But they worked out a deal beforehand. They're paying Gal Gadot $10 million for that part of the deal because she had back end earnings of the run of the movie and stuff. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully, Warner can keep its promises. Otherwise, they lost a lot of trust in the relationships they had, and it's gonna be difficult for them moving forward to do business, basically. Um, Other than that, that's Warner basically targeted themselves as enemy number one, and we'll see how it goes during the next year and how it works for them and for everybody. So Sony has made big moves into the anime market. They've been trying to get in, produce more stuff, and dub more stuff. They own Funimation, and as of the end of the year, they have a deal for 1.175 billion dollars to buy Crunchyroll, which basically means that here, at least in the United States, I believe, they will be the sole streamers of anime content. Um, some people are thinking that this might be bad because there's no competition. Some others think that hopefully with Crunchyroll and Funimation they have more voice actors to do dubs for some of the series. I do hope that this means that the Funimation app in the PlayStation works better, or that they can make it a better experience, because I tried to use it and it was super annoying. You had ads like every 5 minutes. It was unwatchable on Funimation. So hopefully they can. Hopefully it goes to Crunchyroll standards, not Funimation standards. We'll see how it goes. Other than that, Sony basically now streams. Is a streamer of anime. I think in the United States. I don't know if there's any services outside the United States for that. With all the pandemic still going on, AMC is still crying that it has substantial doubt and can remain in business. To be fair, they do have a lot of theaters in the United States, and so I know that they already went through the process of reducing their staff and at corporate and at the places themselves. So a lot of people lost their works for that. They might need to close some of the theaters so they can stay in business. This obviously it's a weird time for everybody. Streaming has been the focus now. I know that Disney literally mid-year said we're gonna focus on streaming instead of focusing on um, theaters, and so given Warner's decision to put everything on HBO, that might also change everything. Um, um, this is sad, but also not unexpected. AMC also has been saying this for the last 8 months, and it kind of like they keep pushing the wrinkle, saying that they will not be able to go out of business, and so they just moved the date. We'll see how it goes. I think they'll stay in business because it's a huge corporation. It's just gonna shrink a little bit, and eventually people will go back to theaters because it's a good experience most of the time, and there's something about sharing that with other people, eating popcorn, all the stuff. Right now, again, I don't recommend going to the theaters. I know they're open, um, and it hurts the theater business, but it's not safe. Just don't go. And I'm gonna close with the largest news we had. It will take me a little bit to go through it, but it's funny that all of this came out of a Disney Investor Day, which is just supposed to say, "Hey, we have money. These are plans." But it's been so there's been so little news because we didn't have E3, because we didn't have D23, because we didn't have all of those conventions where they push Comic Con, all of that. that Disney decided to give all this news on Investor Day, and people just hanged up to it. And basically, they have one decided that what they're gonna do with Marvel, they have set it up in stone even longer than before. We're gonna get a lot of the series that we were promised coming to Disney Plus next year, including WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier. Another thing is they're gonna start doing some of the more adult content for the Hulu platform. So like they're gonna be working on an Alien series. And start doing with the Fox properties for the Hulu app. Outside in the United States, the Hulu app is gonna become their main app for everything that's not like kid friendly, and we'll see how that goes. I'm not sure what they're planning to do it here in the United States because they have Disney Plus and they have Hulu, and they could, you know, they could treat it differently, but apparently it's weird. We'll see how it goes. The other thing that's going happening is they've started pivoting their Star Wars content a little bit, at least the streaming content, towards like a Marvelification of it, so that we're getting from the season finale of Mandalorian, it's gonna be a spin-off of Boba Fett, which will air first than the third season of the Mandalorian. We're getting Rangers of the New Republic. We're getting a Apprentice series, which is gonna be in the High Republic era, which is something they just started writing about right now, like 900 years before. So Disney's gonna start doing all this stuff and interconnecting and pivoting, and we'll see how it goes. I think it's interesting. As a Star Wars fan, I love it. I love Star Wars. I love watching it. Everything might not be my taste, but somebody it might be the first thing they see and they like it. Um, some people don't like it because they think one of the special things about Star Wars is that you used to see it like every 2 years or so, and so that made it special. Um, I think and between those two, it's like at least now they seem like they have a plan. We'll see how it goes. They didn't mention the movies though. We will see. They did bring Patty Jenkins to direct a movie for Rogue Squadron, which is not gonna be on the link to the series or the books or the video games from a while back, but going forward, so it's gonna be like Resistance era kind of thing, or New Republic era. I think it's gonna be interesting. I hope they finally bring Baron Fell and Wedge Antilles and make them the ace pilots that they are supposed to be, according to the really really old canon. And so let's see how it goes. There was a lot of things in that, and like there's like 8, 10 series of Star Wars. There's like 5, 4 more new stuff from Marvel that we didn't know before. Specific dates that they hadn't given us. The information from Hulu and FX. So it was huge, and people were just talking about it at the same time. And it was the same day of the Game Awards, which was very interesting. Tried to follow both things at the same time. But those are the news for November and December. Um, you know, 2020 has been weird, as I said. Ups and downs. For me, more ups than downs. I do hope that if this wasn't your year, that next year it's better. Um, I do hope that we are finally able to get together to do stuff outside more often next year. I don't think it's gonna happen until like at least mid-year, but we'll see how it goes. I do hope you have a happy holiday and that you enjoy any of the many new things streaming right now, or the Christmas movies, or the holiday movies, or any favorite movie that it's your comfort movie. Okay, and I hope you enjoy the movies.